So lately, I've been seeing a lot of memes, like this one, and this one, and I kind of wanted to see if there was an update regarding this JRod situation, and there was, so I'm going to go to Reddit again. I have a lot of free time in my hands, so that's also why I'm making this video, but we'll go over it together. So here it is. Well, we are back at it again with the tea. Me personally, I do like a fair bit of drama, clearly, but if you guys notice the camera quality got better, well, I'm recording with my nice DSLR, which isn't necessarily a flex. I just was editing the other day, and I just thought the camera quality could have been a little better. That's why I decided to whip out this bad boy to record my beautiful face. You don't need to flame me. I know it's not looking so good, but definitely I think this will do in recording for this new little update video thing that I got going on. But as you guys can see, the update to the little drama regarding JRod is here, and actually came here 5 days ago. I have been very busy, and I actually just opened Reddit today, and I found out how JRod got caught in all the BS and why he got kicked out. So if we look here, thoughts, and it's a screenshot right here of what really went on. I believe this is Jacob Rodriguez's ex. So that's kind of where the source of information came from, and sorry, that's NordVPN. But it's kind of where the source of information came from, and what led to the series of events that led him getting kicked out. I can't talk today. Let's see. First and foremost, I did not want to make a statement regarding Jacob Rodriguez, let alone a second one. Jacob Rodriguez put out another video which has misled people to believe that he was asked to leave because he simply downloaded images off Instagram. This was only part of the story, which resulted in false information being circulated and blame being placed upon myself and the other women at B-Team. The secret vaults contain Instagram images and explicit images. Multiple folders were created, organized by the female's names, to which pornography that resembled the female was placed into their named folder. Okay, to be quite honest, I read the comments in the last rundown video that I had regarding the Jay Rodriguez's drama and all this. This was kind of the prequel to this video. So there were a lot of comments saying how, how is this any different from what any ordinary man does in his private room in a private setting? I mean, well, I guess if nobody knows about it, but if everybody knows about it, imagine if you had a wife or a daughter. I know that many of you guys watching are predominantly male. I mean, I'm a man myself, and jiu-jitsu is a male-dominated sport. But imagine if your wife or daughter training jiu-jitsu wants to get good at the sport, has a teammate that is making this type of content, that is jacking off to this sort of content, just pornography with your loved one's face on it. I would think that you would be very uncomfortable with it. Heck, I would if it was my face. Imagine if it was your face getting plastered on it. If the guy liked other men. If your face was plastered onto it, and your teammate is jacking off to it, that is disgusting. I'm sorry. That's disgusting. I would not be comfortable around that person. You know, that person he is rolling with me, and I just would not be comfortable in that specific setting where the close contact is involved. And, you know, this is not to to kind of say that, you know, JRod he's a monster and all of this. No, I believe we make mistakes. However, I would feel very weird. I've never had that inclination to do such an act myself, but you guys have to understand how uncomfortable it will make a lot of your training partners, right? Especially if that that girl that you're doing it to, that this person's doing it to, has a family, right? Also trains in that gym. If that happened to let's say my girlfriend, she trains at a jiu-jitsu gym, and that happened to my girlfriend, I would not be comfortable with my girlfriend going there. I don't think my girlfriend would be comfortable training there, and then she would have to switch gyms and all this. It's not creating a respectful environment, and especially when JRod has a lot of influence in this specific area, jiu-jitsu. When you have all this influence, this is not the kinds of things that you would like to do, especially when you're impressionable to a lot of young people, right? A lot of young people want to be like JRod. They want to be the spazzy guy who could get out of every single position, right? And I'm aware that you guys probably, if you guys are watching this video, probably have seen JRod's armbar escape from, I believe it was it CJI or ADCC or something like that. But it was a crazy armbar escape. So that's one of the examples, right? A lot of young people want to do that. They want to be able to spaz out of positions, so to speak. And I'm not saying that he's spazzy. I do believe he has amazing technique. That's probably why that's how he had a name for himself, right? And how he got how he became part of B-Team and all the personalities associated with it.
So, armbar by Mika Galbao, armbar, JRod escaping, JRod rolling, another armbar, Mika is on the arm, this is crazy, he keeps rolling, the arm is extended, the arm is...
That crazy armbar. 1, and then he goes again, 2, yep. And then he's about to go again, 3, escapes the arm, and then a 4th time it gets out of that arm. Just crazy submission defense by Jay Rodriguez. We see that drop at the end. Mika dumped JRod.
But yeah, I just think he's too influential of a guy to kind of dish out double standards and all this stuff. You know what I mean? I think if you were to withhold double standards for a guy like him, it's just telling the other people that, you know, this behavior is okay when it really isn't. I mean, for example, look at the black belts at your gym. I think they're influential. They're influential to the local community and the community that that frequents that specific gym. Not only to just the kids, but also to, you know, the other people around there. The other people around there, they kind of look to this black belt as a figure of authority, which there's nothing wrong with. You know, it's a black belt. He's been training there for 10 years. I also want to get to the point where a lot of black belts, you should only listen to them about jiu-jitsu stuff. You should not listen to them about life advice, because they're there training jiu-jitsu, right? They're not there giving therapy. So I think you guys should listen to black belts if you're not a black belt, but to a certain extent, like all things. Fuck. I don't even know where I left off, bro. Okay, to my knowledge, I think this is where I left off. But let's just run with it for now. I'll probably see during editing if I messed up, but you know, this is probably not the worst fuck up that I've done before, so there's that. To my knowledge, AI was not used and the photos were not secretly taken. I will not comment on the individuals as their privacy and safety is a priority. These photos were discovered in September 2024 Between September 2024 and December 2024, I said nothing to anyone other than family and friends that I confided in regarding the traumatic details of my relationship with Jacob. I did not go to B-Team with these details. After months of feeling sick and disgusted, I decided to reach out to Nick Rodriguez on December 17th, 2024. I was physically ill, keeping information from him and acting like everything was okay. In his presence for the past few months, I explained to Nick what I had saw and let him decide how he wanted to deal with this family matter. Well, this is his brother, right? I think that's really hard. I think a brother would cover for his family member, or at least I would like to think so. I think loyalty kind of trumps everything. But I was kind of playing with fire. It's a very difficult decision, difficult situation to begin with. But I think it kind of alludes back to my initial point where you got to know who to trust, right? There's some people that be okay with it, some people that feels guilty for knowing that information. I don't know why Jay Rodriguez decided to tell his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, his girlfriend at the time. Maybe he trusted her or whatever, but I just think all of it is it's just fucked, like. I wouldn't think about doing something like this, but if I were to do something like this, I would want to, if I were to tell somebody, it would be someone that I would trust. And it's, even that's hard, right? Going back to the point that I was making. But let's continue with this. So I quietly left B-Team the following day, December 18th, 2024, after I spoke to Nick Rodriguez. I did not run to the owners asking for Jacob's removal. When I canceled my membership, Jacob or the details stated above were not mentioned. One of the rumors circulating is that I ran to the owners of B-Team requesting Jacob be banned from the team. This is false. In fact, I returned to B-Team to compete in a show with Jacob sitting mat side mid-February 2025. I wanted to move on. Jacob Rodriguez's and I's relationship officially ended in December 2024 after discovering more disturbing information regarding his behavior. Our last communication was February 2025, as Jacob spent the following months, December to February, pleading for forgiveness and promising change as he had done our whole relationship. So it sounds like they had a lot of issues in their relationship. I don't know if this was the root of the issue, or if she did this just to spite him because she was a disgruntled girlfriend. It sounds like there's a lot of issues in place. I don't judge, man. I feel like relationships are very difficult, and this is kind of a personal matter, I agree. However, him doing it to the teammates was not a personal matter type shit. Yeah. Okay. Again, I quietly left B-Team in December 2024. I was contacted by Craig Jones in March 2025. He asked me about some rumors that were circulating about Jacob Rodriguez. After providing him with my side of the story, they then spoke to Jacob, Nick, as well as other B-Team members before swiftly removing Jacob Rodriguez from B-Team. Even after his removal, I remained silent on the situation. Physical and emotional abuse occurred. He would push me, intimidate me, and pin me down. Other times he would prevent me from leaving the house by blocking doorways or knocking my belongings off my shoulder. Yo, that is messed up, bro. Like, maybe once or twice. Even once or twice is crazy, but once or twice, it could be a mistake. But I feel like after 2 times, man, that's like, he's just being a bully. And I know, like, sometimes you bully each other. You guys bully each other in the relationship, but man, that's crazy. She is not okay with it. I think it's different when it's kind of consensual and if your partner's okay with it. But clearly she's not. But I think it could have been a lot worse, right? She kind of kept it secret until she couldn't anymore, which is when Craig Jones kind of reached out to her to dispel the rumors, but the rumors were true, so it led to the removal and all this stuff. It's difficult, man. It really is. See the comments. Although it's not right, it's also not entirely surprising that Nicky would support his brother initially. I still think the important thing was B-Team cut Jay and has been pretty transparent with everything through the entire process. I 100% agree with this comment, like I was stating before. Yeah, man, I would, if it were up to me, I'd probably support family as well. Yeah, it's just a very difficult situation all around. If I'm Nicky, you get some disturbing news about a breakup and then the girl leaves the gym the next day, you probably think the issue will kind of resolve itself since the parties have been separated. He probably didn't expect Craig to ask him a few months later about this, and obviously would take his brother's side at this time. Yeah, no, it must have been surprising as well. Yeah. Man, I couldn't even imagine if I was stuck in this situation, since it's just so difficult to kind of navigate across. Yeah, plus, if this was shared with me in confidence and she told no one else, I would feel I also shouldn't tell anyone else. Like Craig Jones apparently has proof that Nat is a child molester, and yet says he doesn't talk about it because it's not his story to tell. Why would that same thing not apply to Nicky Rod? Who is Nat? I only know Craig Jones. I don't know. Oh, GR's girlfriend. I still don't know who that is. But yeah, I mean, she could have made it a lot worse. She could have just started exclaiming at the top of her lungs that her boyfriend was doing this, right? And she kind of kept it private to a degree. So there's always a positive. There's always pros and cons to everything, right? That's the pro. The con is what transpired later on. I wonder if this means he will be leaving soon as well. I think he will, maybe not now, but within a few months. Come on, see this. 28 replies. Let's click that. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another team gym forming with the Rod brothers later this year. You know, there was like a comment on the prior video saying that JRod will join New Wave. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, don't think it's gonna happen. There's too many A-team personalities, and I'm pretty sure he's banned. Something like that. Like, they're not gonna allow him to train, right? They know he's part of a rival gym. Especially with how the way New Wave kind of approaches things and handles things. Big Bro isn't gonna leave JRod hanging. Everyone will forget the JRod thing soon, plus he'll naturally mature with age. New dad, plus only has a few years left in his competitive prime. Better to start a new gym and get like 80% than splitting the pie 5 ways at B-Team. I guess that's true. Perhaps I'm misreading your post. But I don't think physically abusing women is an issue of being immature. Yeah. Yeah, it's a toughie, man. I think it's hard. It's like if a person like unalive somebody and then you just say it's because he's immature, or if someone like some 16-year-old decides to rob an elderly person and then they say it's because the person was immature. Maybe it could be a maturity thing. Like you can mature from a lot of things, but I just think that's kind of hard. You know what I mean? Because it is affecting people. In this case, it might not be affecting them directly, but you're making a lot of people uncomfortable, man. It's just it's messed up. It really is. And I'm just gonna keep reiterating this. I feel like a broken record sometimes, but I'm just saying the facts, right? Like I believe not only I think it's messed up, I think a lot of people feel like it's messed up. But there were a few people that disliked my last video. I believe that's all of JRod's accounts. Maybe it's Nicky Rod's accounts too. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Please don't come at me. Okay. There's 7 more replies here. Let's open it up. I'm a very nosy individual, so that's why I'm doing this video, right? Some abusers start young. I don't think it has anything to do with being immature. If anything, it's likely that abusers will learn to hide it better from others. I mean, I guess that's true as well. I don't think it applies to everybody, but definitely there is some application here that we may have not seen. I think it's misguided to label people as abusers as though there is zero possibility of character growth. Rather than a person who has been abusive, especially at such an early stage in their life, from personal experience, I absolutely think immaturity can come into it. Yeah, I believe immaturity can come into it. I think immaturity is a bit exclusive in terms of kind of abusing people. However, I do think that you can grow out of it, right? I also think that that old adage, once a cheater and always a cheater, is you can kind of grow out of it, right? But there is that old saying that kind of sticks around with everybody, and especially in this case, I definitely think he can grow from it. He can learn from it, learn not to do it. It's just going to take a matter of time. So I do think immaturity is a little bit exclusive apart from that, but it does kind of coincide with it. If that even made sense. I don't even know if that made sense, to be honest. Yep, sadly, but yes, it is. Young people struggle with emotional control. That is true. I think for men, the brain doesn't fully form until 25 years of age, and JRod is very young. It's clear cut and simple. This is why courts always send these people to anger management. It isn't like Jay is a psychopath who has a brain that directs him to murder people. Yes, I agree. I think that's a completely different thing. He probably anger issues, especially if he is on the juice, like a lot of young people do, and he can be taught to overcome those. I agree with this as well. I agree with all these comments, right? Everybody is right. I don't think anybody is necessarily wrong. There's no wrong approach to life. And JRod, he is getting therapy, so I know he is actively trying to combat this issue that kind of stemmed to more issues and whatnot. So it's not like he's doing nothing, and he's not trying to improve himself and trying to get over this hurdle.